this is going to be a complete guide on how to trade Solana meme coins. I'm going to teach you from A to Z, so you're going to know everything there is to know about Solana meme coins, so you don't have to watch another YouTube video and learn how to trade Solana meme coins. So the three tools we need is Phantom, Axiom, and Sniperoo. Now, if you're watching Solana meme coins, I assume you know how to set up a Phantom wallet. If you don't, I won't be showing you in this video, but you basically go into phantom.com, click download, create an account, and you're good to go. Next thing you want to do is get Axiom Pro and Sniperoo. Both of the links are in the description. If you use my links, you'll be saving on trading fees. You'll only be paying 0.85% per transaction. So once you have both of those accounts set up, this is how Axiom is going to look, and then this is how Sniperoo is going to look. Now, once we have both of these accounts set up, Sniperoo and Axiom, we're going to add the extension of Sniperoo. We just click here and then add it to Chrome. I already have it. That's why it's saying remove from Chrome. So once that's added, you want to click this little blue icon, click this arrow, and that'll pin the Sniperoo extension to the right hand side of your browser. That means that it'll follow you everywhere you go. As you can see on the right, it doesn't change. Now, once you have it first set up, the first thing you want to do is go to transaction settings. Slippage for buy is 25%, sell slippage is 35%. You can mess around with these values, but these are the values that work for me. We want to enable dynamic jitter tip at the bottom here and click fast for both, and set the max jitter tip for 0.001. Now, how this is going to work is the max jitter tip we're ever going to pay 0.001, but if the jitter tip is cheaper because the Solana network is not congested, we'll use a cheaper tip before we use this max tip. And you can see here that at the bottom it shows every 15 minutes the latest jitter tip data. So for 0.001, we're going to have turbo, which is 85 to 95% transaction success. And that's your bot set up. Then you click save, and that's it. Now we can go into Axiom. So once you're on Axiom Pro, we want to go into portfolio, wallets, and you're going to have an Axiom wallet set up as soon as you create an account. Now what you want to do is on this wallet here, you want to click this little key icon. This will export your private key, and you want to import your private key into Sniperoo. So you click import private key. So export it from Axiom, import it into Sniperoo, and that way when we're trading any of these coins, when we trade, we're going to have a byline here like you see all the influencers and YouTubers have. So it's a very neat trick. A lot of YouTubers don't show you that, but that's what you need to do. You need to export your wallet from Axiom and import it into Sniperoo, and that way we'll have a byline, and all these stats here on the right will update with our Sniperoo trading. So now you're basically set up and ready to trade Solana meme coins. So there's a lot of different ways to trade Solana meme coins, and I know there's videos on Twitter tracker, following wallets, scanning for specific market caps and filters. None of that really matters. The only thing you need to know is what works, what's the meta, and what has traction. So if we look at new pairs here, let's see here, I have no filters other than Bonk and Pump Fun. These are the only two filters I have. I have no other filters. So let me just check here. We do this, apply. So we're filter free. The only two filters you need is Pump and Bonk under protocols for each of the new pairs, final stretch, or migrated. Right, so let's go over Axiom. If you've never used Axiom Pro, this is the main platform I use for scanning. So basically what scanning means is that we're going to be looking through the market and deciding on what to buy. The other thing I like to have is my wallet tracker here. These are all the wallets I follow. These are all other trenchers. Trenchers is a term for Solana meme coin traders. So I use this wallet tracker just to see what other people are trading. And if I like what they're trading, I'll do my own analysis and maybe I'll get in a trade as well. So this helps as well. If you miss something on the new pairs, you can actually see in your wallet tracker what people were trading. So we can see here, Kev bought Lucky Coin 1 minute ago for 24 Solana. So if you just click into it, we can see what this is and how long ago. So this was created 22 days ago. We can go through all the socials here. That's a community on X, that's 3,000 members. They don't have a website. Well, they do have a website, but it's not of any important value. It's just a random website, and I would not buy into this. Now, the reason I will not buy into this is because it's 22 days old, so the hype is gone. No one's going to be trading this. If we look here at the token info on the right, you can see the top 10 holders is 15%, which isn't on the high end. This is pretty normal for Solana meme coins. The dev is holding 0%. There's 0% snipers. But if we look here at the insiders is 50%. Now, what the insiders is basically people who had insider information and they got into the coin as soon as it basically went live on Solana. That means they had the contract just before, or they're in a Telegram group and they're all buying into the coin together. So you can see here that bundlers is basically when someone has 50 wallets and they buy from those 50 wallets into one coin and they bundle the coin. So it'll have 50 wallets holding 1%, but in reality, they're holding 50% of the supply, but they're just splitting the supply over different wallets. That's why it's called bundling. And you can see here that only 77% of the liquidity pool is burned on this token. That's another red flag. You want it to be 100% burned if you want to trade it. If it's not burned, they can absolutely nuke you and rug you, and that's not what we want. So for scanning here on Pulse, let me just turn off this wallet tracker here. I'll leave a link with all the wallets I follow over here. These are all the wallets I follow. I'll leave a link on YouTube in the pinned comment so you can copy all these if you would like. So let's look at Pulse here. When we're scanning, you can see here that there's a lot of red. We don't want a lot of red, we want a lot of green. So we look here, let's say at this Madame Trump, you can see 51% top 10 holders, red flag, get out. There's no, Dev is not holding anything, but there's 68% snipers and 68% bundlers. That is way too high. We don't go anything over 15-20% for both of these. If it's anything over, just skip it. We're not going to scan it. So like this one, we could skip this one. Anything that has a lot of snipers and bundlers, don't even bother looking into it because you will get rugged. Now, there's a way you can filter them if you like. You can click the filters here and you can scroll down here. You can see bundle percentage, insider percentage, and minimum holders. So if you go maximum 15% insiders, 15% bundles, that'll filter for you and you're never going to see them. As you can see here, it's 10%, snipers 70%. You can do it like that. I don't like to filter things because sometimes people bundle like a new coin, but then they'll get out before migrate. So then it's a good opportunity for you to buy. Now, you can use a Twitter tracker. If you click here at the bottom left, you can set up your own Twitter tracker. You can add handles to follow Twitter accounts and trade. I know a lot of good traders use Twitter tracker. So if Elon Musk or Donald Trump posts a CA, they'll instantly get into it. Me personally, I don't use Twitter tracker. I just use technical analysis and just scanning the markets. And if I like something, I will buy it. And if there's enough people buying it, then that's what's going to make me to buy. This over here is your Insta trading platform. It's kind of the same as the Axiom one over here. I'll move that out of the way. We don't use Axiom to trade. We only use Axiom to scan. We use Sniperoo to trade. And the main reason is because it's the fastest trading bot. It fills in within 2 blocks and it's the cheapest. It's 0.85%. So if you're trading like 10-20 sol a day, the fees would eat into it. On Axiom, since it's 1%, this is much cheaper, so you're saving on fees. Now you can see here, these are your buy and sell buttons. We can click edit over here and change whatever you want. 0.1, you can put this to 3 if you like, and click save. You can do the same for the sell. So this is your Insta trading. Now, if we just take this CA here and paste it over to the right into Sniperoo, we'll get information on this token. You can see it's 8-bit bonk. We have the address, price, market cap, total supply, and what type of token it is. So it's an SPL token. We can see that they can't mint it. It's not frozen and there's no transfer fee. These 3 will not apply to you if you're trading pump fund, as none of these can be amended when you're creating a pump fund. But if you're trading raydium tokens, all of these could be on. So they could have mint authority on, they could have freeze on, and they could have transfer fees. So you want to make sure 3 of these say none. Risk analysis is a built-in tool that Sniperoo has to basically see the risk of a coin. So you can see here, it's giving you a risk of 1,671 penalty points, and it's giving you a warning marker, basically because there's no liquidity. There's low amount of liquidity in the pool. That's what that means. So you can also check here, you can go on Bird Eye Trenchbot Bullets if you want to check the token. So if we go Bird Eye here, click this, it'll bring up this token in Bird Eye. But since I don't use Bird Eye, I never use these links here. So let's go back into Sniperoo, and we have a Roo leaderboard here. So this is another reason we use Sniperoo, because when you trade, you get Rubits. You can see here my rank is 65. I have 2,300 Rubits. So if you're an active trader and you're using Axiom or something, there's no point using Axiom when you can use Sniperoo, because you're earning Rubits, and these Rubits will be used in the Roo lottery, which is basically like Solpot, that's coming out at the end of this month or early August. So we'll be able to use these Rubits in lottery style. I'll show you now here if we go to how to use Roo lottery. So this will be using our Rubits. So basically we'll be able to gamble. We can either bet with Sol or with Rubits into a pot, and then whoever puts in the most money has the highest chance to win, but you can also win with 2% and win the whole pot. So that's another benefit of using Sniperoo. You're earning Roo credits that can be used in other games on the Roo platform. Now, this is the docs page for Sniperoo. If you have any questions on, let's say, simple auto sell, it has everything explained here. Advanced auto sell, they explain everything in detail. And if you have other questions that isn't covered by the docs, you can go to their Discord here and go to the general. They have a very good community. Everyone answers your questions. You'll never be lost for anything. And we can see here that they actually have a Twitter tracker built into Sniperoo for free. You don't have to pay $100 a month, $150 a month for a Twitter tracker. They have a free Twitter tracker built into it. The other cool thing about Sniperoo is you can buy straight from Discord. So if we just go into token stats, if you're on Discord and your mate posts a CA, you can instantly buy with these Sniperoo buttons here. You can see that like as soon as the CA is posted, the bot detects that and you can instantly buy, and you can click inspect if you want to look at this token that he posted, and it'll show you information on it on the right hand side. So it's very good if you're like, let's say in a Discord that shows a lot of alpha, let's say he posted now, if you just click inspect, instantly it'll bring up the token data and you'll know if you want to buy, and if you do, you just click these. You can also do the same on X. So if we just go over to X now and we just type in CA here, we can see that even on X platform, as soon as it detects contract address, you will instantly be able to buy it with Sniper. You can see here CA detected, you can buy it straight away. And let's say if I wanted to know more about this one, these are Ethereum ones, so I can't do Ethereum, but they will support Ethereum and Binance later down the line. If we just look up Solana contract address like this, we just click inspect and it'll inspect the token for us. So if you're trading off X or Discord, it's a very handy tool to have. You don't have to control C, control V, copy and paste between platforms to trade. It's all instant. Right, so next thing we're going to cover now. You understand how Sniper works, how you can use it. We understand what are insiders, snipers, dev holding, top 10 holders. The other thing you want to look at, especially when you're trading a long-term coin, is like, let's say this, is chart patterns. So when you're trading, this is a chart. This type of chart is a scam, and I'll tell you why. So basically at the very start, you can see here that it went from 0k market cap all the way to 42k. No natural token that's created that's not a rug will start off at 40k. It'll start at 6 to 7k or maybe 8k market cap. It's not going to start at 47k. So that's a red flag as well. If you see a token starting over anything 10k, that's a scam. So this is a scam token. They bought in and it's 40k now. And look at this. Another big giveaway is if the chart's just going up with no sells, that's also a scam. You need to be careful of that. You want a natural looking chart. And I'll show you what a natural looking chart looks like. Let's look at chat here. So this is a natural looking chart. You want up, down, ups and downs. When you're trading Solana meme coins, someone has to win and someone has to lose. So if you bought in here, let's say at the very bottom, and you wanted to sell here, you want to make your profit, so you're going to have to sell. That's why the chart looks like this. It goes up, down, it bulls up again, and then people are taking their profits, people are buying, people are taking their profits. So that's what you want to see in the chart pattern. You want to be like a zigzag. You don't want to see something that's constantly going up and there's no sells, because that's a scam. That means people can't sell or people are not selling because the majority of the supply is controlled by the ruggers. So if we just look here, anything with 67%, I can show you an example here. If we just click all these with 67%, you'll see they're all scams. So if you look at the chart, that's a scam. You see it's only going up. The next one, same chart, only going up. Look, no one is selling. And the thing you see here that's selling here, that's the rug pullers. That's the creator of the dev token or the people that bundle. That's who are selling this off. And then if we look at the last one, it's probably going to be the same chart pattern. Yep, big massive candle up to 55k, and then there's no trading activity at all here. So that's a scam. So you need to learn how to read these charts. The normal charts are zigzags. That's normal. The other way you can check if it's actually bundled is if you click here, and you can see here on the right that it says 68% bundlers. But if we just make this bigger here and move this out of the way, we can check in the holders here. So you have these little red icons. So this icon is a sniper icon. This icon here is a bundler icon. If you see a lot of these wallets, you do not want to trade this, because look at this. The top 10 holders are all bundlers. They're all holding 8%, 7%, 6%, 5%, 4%. They're holding more than 20% of the supply. It's just they're hiding it in different wallets. That's why it says that the dev is not holding anything, but the dev actually is holding because he's using different wallets, you can see here. And all the traders here, you can see the top 18 holders are all bundlers. So they're controlling the max of the supply. Now, anything outside of the bundlers, so a normal trader here is only holding $112, which is 0.1% of the supply. So they're controlling the supply here. So we don't trade this. If you see a lot of red here, we don't trade it. Let's talk about now dev tokens. We can see here, so see similar tokens here. And if you click here, dev tokens, you can see that this dev in particular has launched 9 tokens already. So this does not mean he's a rug puller. He might have tried to host 9 projects and they all failed. But if you see something that says dev tokens and it's like 150, then he's a rug puller. Why would you create 150 projects? He's trying to rug you. So that's another thing we want to look out for. You don't want to see a dev that has over 150 projects created in the past. So this was just a quick walkthrough on how I trade Solana meme coins. I just go off new pairs and final stretch. I don't use anything like a Twitter tracker. I just go off feel. You'll develop this the more you trade Solana meme coins. Like, you're not going to learn this overnight. It would take you like 3 to 6 months to get a hang of it, because I know a lot of people see on YouTube and on X of people making hundreds of thousands, a million in a day, but those people are either insider traders or if they've been trading for a year or two. You're not going to make money on day one. You're actually going to lose a lot of money for the first month or two because you don't know what you're doing. You're buying off impulses, you're buying off emotions, you're not doing any analysis, you're just buying into random things. You see something here on the left like Moodeng official, like this looks cool, and you buy into it. It doesn't matter if it looks cool to you. It's all about motion and hype. It has to have volume for it to go up. So the thing I'd recommend is take your time when you're trading, learn First of all, do paper trading, which is basically pretend trading. Pretend you're getting in at like a certain point and see if you're right or not. Do not invest more money than you're willing to lose, and just take your time with it. If you have any questions, just head over to Discord over here. I'll be in the general chat sniper and I'll answer any questions you guys have. And yeah, leave a comment in the bottom of the video. I'll answer all comments. Thanks.